Anthony Harvick here with a Jackson Milton player profile. I'm joined by McKaylee Thornhill. McKaylee, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me here.
The one they call Mac Dog. I want to ask where that nickname started. Has it been something that has been carried with you all life, or is it something that started with Jackson Milton softball?
It was just Jack's Milton softball freshman year. That's just what they started calling me. I don't
Uh,
know where it came from, but I
does it give you the green light, or is it something that you don't like a lot?
like it.
You like it? It's
Yeah.
good. That's good because it's sticking with you whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Um, Back to the softball. Let's get on the softball side of things. This year, you're asked to be a big leader of this team. I think that's something that you knew coming in that you were going to be asked of with the seniors that left last year. What has that been like? Knowing that you were going to be a leader, and now we're about halfway through the season. You've been able to be a leader this whole year. What has that been like for you mentally?
It's been different. I've always been the player that I'll help others, but I was the one that always asked for help. And now our younger freshmen are asking me for help, and it's a big step up for me, but I like it cuz I like helping them grow.
What did you do to prepare yourself for that? And like I said, you kind of knew this season that you were going to have to be that leadership person, with the amount of innings you get, and obviously, like I said, the seniors that left last year. So, what did you do to prepare, knowing that coming into this season, like you were going to have a lot of responsibilities on your shoulders?
I just thought to almost act like how the seniors acted last year in my freshman year, just to really be there for all my teammates and just help them to have fun when playing
Y-
softball.
You talk about how the seniors kind of carried themselves, the seniors of last year. How much did they teach you how to lead? I mean, they were great athletes in multiple sports. How much did those seniors teach you how to lead going into this year?
And they taught me a lot of just sports skills, life skills. Like, I am so lucky to have the seniors that I've had in the past 2 years.
Another mentality question, because you're the ace of this team now. Like everything in the circle is all on your shoulders. You're the number one. Big game, we're going to you. Obviously, you have some help with Britta Macbeth, but you're the big game starter. You're the one that Coach Ciccolelli is going to look at every time you guys go up against a big opponent. What does that mean to you, and how have you been able to mentally handle that obstacle?
It just, I don't know. I like being the center and controlling the game, but I just think I'll try my best. And I know Brenna will have my back if I'm having an off day or just nothing's working. But I just try to hit my spots when pitching and just try to give it my all.
Has the fact that you are kind of the ace of this team put any pressure on you, or have you kind of stayed away from that aspect of the game?
It's put a lot of pressure, but sometimes the pressure is good to help me learn and grow as a pitcher, to really work on, if I hang this ball, it's going. If I don't, it won't be as much of a bomb for the hitter, but it helps me to grow as a pitcher and a person.
Learn and grow, two things that players always have to do. They always have to find ways to get themselves better. What things do you think you've learned and grown in, from last year to this year? Because last year you were still on this stage quite a bit. I mean, this is not your first rodeo on the varsity softball field. So what did you learn from last year? How have you grown from last year to this year?
I've just grown to be, I've always had a self-confidence problem, but this year I just have had more positive thoughts. Like last year, it'd be like, oh no, it's 3-2, I'm gonna walk her. Now I'm like, oh, it's 3-2, let's spice it up and really give them a challenge.
Confidence can really be an issue in softball. I mean, this sport is built to make you fail. So if you don't have the confidence, then it can really take you for a ride. How have you built that confidence? What kind of things have you done to make it up, and to build up the confidence that you have in yourself?
Just practice. I mean, because I do travel softball, so I pitch all summer, and just the repetition of, oh, it's okay if I walk this batter, but I'll just get one batter at a time and just try to improve one batter at a time.
Perfect segue, because I was going to ask about travel softball next. You get to pitch in the summer, and the teams that you pitch against are hand-picked lineups that can hurt you 1 through 9. What did that do? What does summer ball do for you as a player to go up against that kind of competition and have that kind of competition on your side as well, to grow you as a softball player.
It just it helps me to think not only one batter at a time, but one pitch at a time. So with one pitch, I need to stay open, I need good mechanics, and just to really focus one pitch at a time to throw the best that I can.
Every pitcher has good coaches and people that kind of help them along their journey, develop their pitches. Who is the person that helps you develop the pitches the most? Do you think?
Um, I have a pitching coach, Ed Beavers, and he has helped me tremendously with pitching. And he has helped me build my confidence, my stamina. He has helped me grow so much as a pitcher.
Now you have a handful of pitches that you can go to and throw. Which one do you think was the hardest to learn and develop and try to build and get to the point where you can use it in the game?
Um, Probably rise ball because just it's the opposite of the mechanics that I was taught. So like normal, you go forward. Rise ball, you need to stay back and scoop up instead of out. So that was always hard for me, and I'm still working on it, but it's improved a lot.
Rise balls can be scary, man. If you leave them
Yes.
flat,
Uh-huh.
they're
I know.
going. But you have to have that mentality, that confidence in the rise ball. Adding that pitch to your arsenal, does that help your confidence? Like, hey, I have to have confidence in this pitch, or it's just not going to work.
Yeah, it does. And it helps to have multiple pitches too, because some days my curveball can be beautiful, but then screwball, it's just not it that day. And it just helps to have a wide variety of pitches that I am confident in. Even if they're not working that one day, I'll still be like, okay, that's fine. We'll move on.
What's your favorite pitch to throw?
It's probably drop because when it works, it just falls right off the table and it completely drops as it should.
As it should. You heard it here first. Rise ball, curveball, screwball, drop ball. That means she's working every part of the zone, which means you have a lot of pitches to throw. We've talked about that before, but it also means that it makes your job easy for the people that are calling pitches. How much of a trust do you have to build in the people that call pitches for you, whether it be travel ball, high school ball? I mean, obviously they're telling you, hey, you got to throw this pitch in this situation. How have you built that trust in those kind of coaches?
It was hard. Over travel ball, we got a new coach and we had a little bit of a slump calling pitches, but I built trust with her and we worked it out. And now, like, I trust her and I trust Coach C a lot to throw my pitches. And it wasn't very hard to build the trust once, like, I see their thought process of what pitches they want me to throw.
Everyone has kind of a different philosophy when calling pitches and how to attack hitters. What do you think yours is? If someone came to you and said, "Hey, you're going to call pitches this game," how would you go about the strategy of this game? What do you think your philosophy is and how to attack hitters?
So, do you mean like the type of pitches or like
Yeah, like what are you looking for? What do you think is the one that you can go to when you're in attack mode? And are you more of an aggressive pitcher, or do you kind of want someone to swing and miss it and stuff? How would you describe yourself? How would you call a game if you were calling one for yourself? Like if Coach C came to you tonight, if you and said, "Hey, you're calling your own pitches," what would be your mindset? Like, well, how would you attack these hitters?
depending on how my pitches are that day.
Mhm.
I would do a movement pitch. I start off aggressive, like a curveball, screwball, depending on left-handed, right-handed. Normally try to go outside and then just try to pipe it down, second pitch. Because I know I'm not the fastest, but I just go inside, outside. And then again, depending on the count, I throw a waist pitch like a rise ball, because sometimes that'll rise a lot, or a backdoor curve, or just kind of always keep it different and moving.
Would you be confident if someone did say, "Hey, you're calling your own pitches today"? Like, would you? Do you think you could do it?
I think I could because I feel like I have the best view of where the batter stands because it's right in front of me. And sometimes the coaches can't tell if they're crowding the plate or way too far back. So I feel like I could. I might not be too confident, but I could.
That would also have to have a lot of trust in your catcher as well, because that would be your battery mate that's calling with you, and Emily Foltz, who is a good catcher in her own right. So talk about the relationship between those two and how you've built a relationship with her, and how much you trust her behind the plate.
Yeah, Emily, a few games she has called my pitches, and they were good games. So I trust her along with calling my pitches, catching my drop ball when it falls off the table or doesn't drop, or yeah, I like her having behind the plate because I know she'll try her everything to stop, no matter how wild my crazy pitches are.
One of the things the catchers have to do, they have to be able to build that relationship with their pitcher so they know exactly when something's going wrong. Hey, I can see that. I know your body language. I know that thing. I know your pitches. How much work do you think goes in, behind the scenes to building these relationships with the catchers you have and trying to make them kind of know more about you than maybe you know yourself?
Yeah, there's a lot, and I've played multiple sports with Emily, our catcher, and I always am talking to her just with everything. So I have a really good friendship with her, along with the catcher pitcher relationship.
So you have a lot of pitches. If there's one that's not in your arsenal that you're working on or you want to start to work on or you would love to be able to have, what pitch do you see in yourself that, like, man, I wish I could throw that, or I want to be able to throw that?
Well, I have this changeup drop curve that I just got introduced to throwing, and I'm waiting until I've pitched more games to really throw it because it's really new. And but I just need to build my confidence with other pitches too first. So,
You got some time. Got
yeah.
some time to work on that pitch, and I'm telling you, a drop curve to right-handed hitters on that back foot. Mm-mm, it's not fair. It's not fair. When you think about things that you like to do outside of softball and things that kind of take your mind off the sport, you have to because you work so hard at it, but you can't gas yourself out. What kind of things do you like outside of the sport?
I like just hanging out with friends and family because my family goes camping. And so we have a weekend without softball, which is very rare, but we go camping in PA and all that. And I love doing that.
All right, so a camping family, let's say you took one of your friends camping that had nothing, never camped before in their life, and you had to give them like a survival guide to their first time camping. What would that look like? What kind of things do people have to know if it's their first time with camping with the Thornhills?
Yeah, it's interesting because we have a place in Tynesta and we have to use the outhouse there. And I know I've brought in a few friends where they're like, I am not going in that. And I was like, I don't know.
Either that or the nature's your outhouse, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's your
yeah.
two options.
But
Um,
it's fun. I just say we sit around the campfire playing the crick that's by our camper and hang out.
if they ask you, like, I'm going to Bass Pro Shop, like, I can only buy three things. What three things are essential to a camping trip with your family? What three things are you telling them, like, you have to buy these?
Um, Definitely like the marshmallow, like the roasting sticks, because we either lose them or break them. Like there's no keeping those. And I we glamp, I guess, because we have the camper. So most of the stuff's already in there. But I'm trying to think. I'm not really sure what else.
Bear repellent.
Yeah.
It's always the go-to, you know?
They're actually mosquito repellent. That's a lot of that.
All right. So, what softball teammate would you want to take on a camping trip that you haven't been able to yet? Like, who do you think would be the best on a camping trip in those survival situations?
From high school?
Yeah.
Or hmm. I feel like Grace Johns would be fun to take. I feel like she'd just have fun. She'd be the one where we can go like mudding in by her camper.
If this team was dropped on a desert island, who do you think would be the best at like the survival instincts and the like we're gonna survive kind of um, strategy that you need to survive if you're dropped on a desert island?
I think Paige Grope 100%. Like, she would be like, "It's okay, guys. There'll be water in a little bit," and then there'd be water nowhere. But she just have the positive attitude in a stranded
Right.
desert.
Opposite end of the spectrum, who would be the first to crack? Like, this isn't going well, can't handle it, mental breakdown.
I think it'd be both the twins, Brenna and Ivy Macbeth, would be like, "We're gonna die.
We're gonna die.
We are done."
Talk about the before we let you go. The pregame playlist. I know it's always banging for Jackson Milton. Who's in charge of it, and what makes it so good?
Emily Foltz is in charge of
Of
it.
course.
And she finds music that we all like or enjoy for like warm up. And we just sit there and she'll be like, "Any song suggestions?" And we're like, "I don't know, Em, you pick." And then she'll just pick a good one and we're like, "All right."
What genre do you lean towards? Like, is there one that you like more than others?
I like everything. I listen to all kinds of music. It's crazy. Like, I have a friend who listens to bluegrass, so I listen to a lot of bluegrass. And my mom's a metalhead, so then I listen to like Metallica, Pandora, or yeah, and like all them. So I'm just the wide spectrum.
Tee out. Mom's a metalhead.
She was at least. She's
See,
not as
if
much.
I had to pick your dad or your mom, like one of the two's a metalhead, which one is it? I would go with your dad. Like that's the
No,
one I would pick, but it's the opposite. All right,
my
that's
dad's the
awesome.
'90s rap.
90s rap for your dad.
Yes.
I like it. I like it. Oh man, I can't wait to see them next to give them a hard time about that. Walk
Yeah.
up song. What's yours? What would it be?
My walk-up song, I had 2 for travel and high school. I had "You Should See Me in a Crown" by Billie Eilish, and then I had Cut the Cord" by Shinedown.
All right, so that's a little bit of metal, a little bit
Yeah,
of
a little bit
pop.
of metal, a little bit
You
of
know,
yeah.
what made those to say like what why did those songs stick out? What do they say about you that you want people to know when you walk up to the plate?
I don't know. Honestly, they both had good, like, beat drops, and they were just very, like, "See me, I'm kind of intimidating, I guess, as much
If
as I can be."
if you had to have a walk out song to the circle, would it be the same or would there is there a different song that you would pick for a walk out song to the circle?
I feel like it would kind of be the same. And since I have such a wide variety of like music genres, I'd have to really like
Right.
find one to pick. So, yeah.
All right, McKaylee. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we let you go, though, I do want to give you the time to shout out your support system and all the people that are in your corner and the ones that you really couldn't do all the things that you do without.
Yes, I really thank my whole team and all my high school team and high school coaches because they've really helped me with a lot. And my travel team and my dad, because my dad has coached me through every sport since I have been like 3. And so he's always been there for me, going to my pitching lessons, hitting, softball practices, everything. And I really want to thank Ed Beavers and Dave Flickinger because they have been very patient with me. Ed will definitely have a lot to say, but I'm really grateful for them and just all my friends and family who have always supported me and come to my games and just helped me through everything.
All right, Mac Dog, thanks again for joining us today. We'll see you again soon. Good luck the rest of the way. We can't wait to
Thank
talk to you
you.
real soon.
Thank you. See ya.